Hi, everybody, and welcome to our last session of the Charlotte Mason series that we've been doing. If you have been following along with us, you know that the whole month of October, we have been talking Charlotte Mason. We even have the Charlotte Mason mini collection that we've been talking about, along with a ton of other encouragement, inspiration, and resources at our website at homeschoolresourceco.com. I have Anna here with me again today, and we are going to be talking about Charlotte Mason scheduling and how to fit all the amazing things in your homeschool using the Charlotte Mason method. I do want to remind you that we are both homeschool moms just like you. If you see a kid run by or if something crazy happens, just know we are showing the real life of motherhood, real life. So, Anna, I'm going to give it over to you. I'm going to remind everybody who you are, what you do, and then we'll go right into our lesson for today.
Hey, everybody. It's good to be back here. Thanks, Brooke, for having me again. As a reminder, yes, we're actually, if you look at my table, we're not done with history today. So books are still on the table. I just told the kids, just go to your bedroom. I'm going to do a webinar now. But you might see the kids crossing, behind me and the dog or, it's life. So welcome to real homeschool life with us. It's good to be back here. So I'm the founder of They Call Me Blast. I'm also the co-owner and co-host of the Charlotte Mason Inspired Online Homeschool Conference, which is amazing. We have the privilege of bringing the best Charlotte Mason specialists to speak to thousands of homeschool parents every year in the month of May. And we also host Mother School. So if you ever thought about oh my goodness, I wish I had gone to school and learned this way. Well, we got Mother School in the Charlotte Mason Inspired community for you. And I also own the Homeschool Sisterhood, which is an amazing online co-op, Christ Center, Charlotte Mason inspired. We have hundreds of homeschool families. We provide so many things to our families, to our homeschool families in the program. And if you bought the mini Charlotte Mason, the mini collection, you got 3 months access to it, which is like a $90 gift for you. No strings attached. So that is honestly, it's life-changing, it's life-giving, it is a blessing. So it is an honor to be here with you. I kind of go around the country speaking about Charlotte Mason, and I just, like many of you, I was like, Charlotte, who? A few years ago, who is this woman? What does she do? And I began to learn about her, and my heart was just like, this is it. This is what I want for my children. And it's been a blessing. So today we're going to talk about how do we do this thing, because we talk a little bit about the concept of a Charlotte Mason education 2 days ago. If you missed it, go back to Homeschool Resources Facebook page. You can watch it there still, right, Brooke?
Right. It is on our Facebook, it is on our YouTube, and it is also listed on our website. So if you missed it, you can go back and watch that at a later time too.
Yeah, and it's on my Facebook group too, and my Facebook page as well. I shared in the Charlotte Mason Inspired Facebook page as well. So if you missed that one, after you watch this one right now, don't go there now. Just watch right here. Then you go back and watch the first one that we did, and it's just going to bring it all together. So let's go ahead. Can I go ahead, Brooke, and get started?
Yep, I'm going to go off screen. I will be monitoring the chat. If you have any questions or any comments, concerns, if we're going too fast, too slow, whatever you need, we're here for you. Just drop that into the chat and I will pop those up for Anna or come back on screen or whatever you guys need. So we are live on Facebook and on YouTube as well as on our website. So we may have lots of comments coming in. Just whatever you guys need, let me know.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to share my screen with you guys so we can get started. Let me make sure I'm on the right screen here. Let me know, you guys, if you are seeing the screen. Let me know if there's anything that is not working. Put it on the comments so Brooke and I can fix it. But let's get started. I'm going to share my PowerPoint presentation with you. There we go. Here we go. All right, so the name of this webinar, this presentation is scheduling a rich feast of subjects. What, why, and how. The most common questions I get from homeschool moms is, how do I fit it all? Because the Charlotte Mason education is a very wide and varied curriculum, which means that we teach them a lot more subjects than just the regular reading, writing, math, science, and history, right? Like we add enrichment subjects, we add a lot more to our homeschool. But the difference is that we keep everything in small size bites. Everything, like all of our lessons are very, very short. We spend like 10-20 minutes maximum in each subject, and we don't do all subjects on the same day. Please, God forbid that. Don't do this. You're overwhelming yourself if you're trying to put every single subject every single day. So you will learn exactly how I do this. And by the way, you have an opportunity also to join me for all the templates that I'm talking to you about it. So you can get them for free. So just pay attention. All right. So what do? I help homeschool moms to get rid of overwhelm in their homeschool. That's the number one thing that I do. I love helping moms when they come to me. This is like, I don't know where to begin. I'm overwhelmed. There's too much to do. Am I good enough? Whatever the reason is that it's causing them to feel overwhelmed, I feel like, oh, I can help you, right? That's my specialty. Why? Because I've been on those shoes and I have helped to like hundreds, if not thousands, of homeschool moms to get out of that ditch, to get out of that overwhelming feeling, that feeling of like, I don't even know what to do. I'm so stressed out. And we go from that place. I always joke, I say, like, I help moms to go from stress to blessed, but that's exactly what it is. Going from that place of being overwhelmed and not having clarity in what you're doing in your homeschool and not having joy in your homeschool to a place of confidence, of peace, and of joy, knowing that you are doing a good job. You're doing exactly what God has called you to do. So that's what I do. I blog at theycallmeblast.org. I love coaching homeschool moms, and I did that inside the Homeschool Sisterhood, which is a phenomenal program, not just to coach moms, but we offer classes online, all those beautiful Charlotte Mason inspired enrichment classes, plus book clubs and Bible studies and apologetics co-ops and all of those things we offer to them inside the Homeschool Sisterhood. So and as I mentioned to you guys before, I co-host the Charlotte Mason Inspired Online Homeschool Conference, which, by the way, you can buy any time of the year and start watching all of those awesome workshops. I'm not sure if the coupon code down below here is working. It might be working. If it's not, just put a comment on it and I'll send you a coupon code. And I also mentioned to you guys before, we also offer a Charlotte Mason inspired mother school, which is so awesome. And we offer so many courses there. They're very affordable. The majority of the courses are around like $12, $10, 15 maximum. So they are very, very, yeah, that code is expired, but we'll get another one for you guys. They are very, very affordable. And you will learn about poetry, you learn about art, you even learn Hebrew with me there. Like, there's so many good things. There we go. All right, so this is my beautiful family. I call it the Willis Faith and Life Academy. My daughter Hadassah, my son Benjamin, my other daughter Ariella. They're now actually in grades 10, 9, and 7. I need to update that because I made the slides during the summer when I was speaking in conferences. But they have been homeschooling from the get-go. Benjamin only went to school for junior kindergarten and half of senior kindergarten in Canada. But we quickly learned that it was time for him to not be there anymore. And we took him out and we started homeschooling, and we've been homeschooling since then. So it's been 11 years for us right now. And it has been the best decision we have ever made for our children. So what will you learn in this workshop? You're going to learn, what is a feast of subjects? Why do we need to teach a varied curriculum? And how do we teach it all? How do we put the puzzle pieces together? How do we get this done in less time while having fun and without losing your sanity, you guys? I do not want to bring anything to you that is just going to make you more overwhelmed. I want to remove that weight from your shoulders, off your shoulders, and I want to give you a better way to do homeschool. It's going to be a lot more fun and interesting and exciting for you and for your family. So before I move forward, I told you I'm going to give you an opportunity to have access to all the printables I'm going to be talking about today. And there's also a free masterclass called How to Run Your Home and Homeschool and Autopilot that I offer absolutely free, no strings attached. Just you can just scan the QR code in your screen right now, or take a screenshot now and then go back there later. But even if you just go to my blog, theycallmeblast.org/freebies, go to my freebies page, and everything that I offer for free is there, including my free master classes. And you will find all the printables that I'm going to be mentioning here today and a little bit more. I also want to offer you a free Charlotte Mason mini guide where there's tons of suggestions for curriculum, for resources. There's some links there for those resources, my favorite books, my favorite podcasts, everything that I use in my homeschool that is Charlotte Mason inspired, everything is there for you. So again, you can scan that QR code or you can go to my freebies page and find it there as well. All right. So the whole idea of a Charlotte Mason education is to give our children a feast. I started my last webinar with you guys here on Monday asking you, what does your homeschool taste like? Right? That's a question that I love to ask parents when I'm speaking in conferences. Like, what does your homeschool taste like? Does it taste bland? Does it taste yummy? Does it taste exciting, like something that they want to keep eating more and more, right? How does it taste like? Because a living education, a Charlotte Mason education, should be like this big, beautiful feast spread before our children that it is appealing, it is desirable, it is delicious, it is something that they want more, right? You know, like when you eat a really good cake, you take a bite and you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I want to eat more. That's how we want the subjects that we talk about in our homeschool to feel like it for them, right? So it has to be varied. It has to be a widespread feast for our children. And a lot of parents come to me and say, like, hey, doesn't Bible, math, history, geography, science, reading, spelling, writing, and grammar keep your homeschool day busy enough? Yeah, if you're doing long lessons for each one, if you're using worksheets and workbooks for everything, oh my gosh, that's going to be so tedious and it's going to take all day long. But there are better ways for you to teach those subjects in much less time and still add a lot more. So, how do we make time for art, handicrafts, foreign languages, literature, music, poetry, folk songs, picture study, and hymn study? How do we do this? How many hours a day will your homeschool day last? What if I tell you that my homeschool day lasts about 2 hours, 2.5, maximum 3, when really get engaged on a lot of things? We just want to go down the habit roll and learn more and watch more documentaries and things like that. So you don't have to sit for 7 hours on the dining room table all day long doing school. So, as I mentioned, a Charlotte Mason education, a feast, should be a wide and very, very varied curriculum. In Charlotte Mason's volume 6, page 14, she says, in the nature of things, then, the unspoken demand of children is for a wide and very varied curriculum. It is necessary that they should have some knowledge of the wide range of interests proper to them as human beings, and for no reason or convenience or time limitations may we curtail their proper curriculum. So what is Charlotte saying? She said they should have some knowledge. She's not saying they should have all the knowledge, some knowledge. Do they understand a little bit of everything? Do they have an idea how things work, right? Or of a varied topics? Do they know If they know a little bit of each thing and you present it to them in a way that is living, is producing their, great thoughts and ideas in their minds, they're going to continue to dig deeper into it, and they're going to learn even on their own, like more about this subject. So you don't have to teach them everything they need to know. You guys, just keep in mind, you didn't stop learning the moment that you finished high school, did you? Right. So same thing with our kids. They're going to continue to learn for life. All you need to do is give them a little bit of everything. Give them a little taste of everything so they can actually prove what is good and what is more interesting and go for more. So here's the difference, and this is so important. Here's why we teach a wide and very varied curriculum, and this is where you're going to see a big difference between what they do in public school and what we do in homeschool, especially if you're following a Charlotte Mason education. Schools tend to favor left brain modes of thinking while downplaying right brain ones. What are the right brain ones? Are the enrichment subjects that Charlotte Mason thinks is so important. She says it's so important for us, right? So normally you go to school, what do? You study those subjects that use the left brain mode, right? You use the math and the language arts and the science and all of those things, the history. But which is great, right? Because the left brain scholastic subjects focus on logical thinking, analysis, and accuracy. But the right brain subjects focus on aesthetics and feeling and creativity. And remember, this is part of who we are as a whole person. We're not just left brained. We have right and left brains, right? And we need to exercise both sides. So, for example, some of the right brain subjects that Charlotte Mason talks about: poetry, habit training, hymn study, foreign language, picture study, music appreciation, composer study, nature study, handicrafts, life skills, art appreciation, citizenship. All of these subjects are part of, our right brain subjects. Who needs right brain teaching strategies? Now, I want you to pay attention to this list, to this checklist, and I want to let me know in the comments. Do you have any children who have underdeveloped memory skills, who has an auditory processing glitch, who has a focusing or attention issue, who has a visual or motor glitch? Do you have any children who dislike schoolwork? I know we all have at least one at home. Do you have children for whom the more common methods of teaching are not working? Put down in the comment and let me know. Do you have any of those, any children that use at least like one of those, that it fits into one of those categories, right? For example, I have one with auditory processing disorder. I have one with focusing and attention issues. So there's at least, there's always one that does like schoolwork. I'm sure you'll have some. So right brain training and teaching is very important to those children. And the key is keep everything in short lessons. So here's one of my favorite quotes from Ann White at the Ambleside online website. She wrote this. She said, a Charlotte Mason schedule would feature short lessons, 10 to 20 minutes per subject for the younger children, but longer for older ones. So the younger your child is, the shorter the lesson has to be. Okay, don't try to put a 45 minutes lesson, 30 minutes lesson to your 8-year-old, 9-year-old, right? Obviously, you don't want to also just give 10 minutes lessons to those that are 15, 14, they can do a lot more. So the attention span is short. The kids, the younger they are, the attention span is shorter. So you want to make sure that you are getting the best of their brain, that they are paying attention, and then you stop the lesson. Well, they're still paying attention. Okay, don't try to just force it until like, oops, the attention is gone. So here's the key that Anne says. She says that, okay, you want the lessons to be short, but You wanted to have emphasis on excellent execution, which is your best effort, and you want the attention to be focused. Whether that is in thinking through a challenging math problem, looking carefully at a painting and then describing it, copying just a few words neatly, or listening to a short Bible episode and telling it back. So, whatever it is that you're doing with your kids, keep it short, keep it sweet, keep their attention full, keep their engagement full in what you're teaching them. Now, Charlotte Mason also explained to us in her writings that we need to make sure that the knowledge of God is the priority of our education. Here's what she said. She says, of the three sources of knowledge proper to a child, the knowledge of God, of men, and of the universe, the knowledge of God ranks first in importance, is indispensable, and most happy making. So, on my last webinar, I explained what those three different knowledges are and why the knowledge of God is the most important one. Without the knowledge of God, there is no biblical worldview. So it's very important that the knowledge of God is the most important one. Otherwise, they would never develop apologetics. They would never know how to defend their faith. They would never see things through God's lenses, through God's words lenses. That's very important. So, in a practical way, here are the subjects that fall under each one of those knowledges. So, for example, the knowledge of God comes from the Bible, but here are some other things that we can do in our homeschool that will help to increase the knowledge of God in our children's hearts. So, not just the Bible, but hymn studies, prayer, catechism, apologetics, missionary stories, missionary biographies that we read with our children. All of that falls under the category of the knowledge of God. Now, the knowledge of man is history, literature, citizenship, which is moral and economics, composition, language arts, foreign language, art, and music. And the knowledge of the universe, science, nature studies, geography, math, physical education, and handicrafts. So if you guys want screenshot this screen right now, this is a good one. This gives you kind of an idea of the subjects that you should have sprinkled into your homeschool days or weeks. All right. So how do we do this thing, right? Well, we need to create our own homeschool rhythm. That's what we need to do. And for us to create a homeschool rhythm that fits our family, we need to, first of all, understand the difference between schedule and routine. Schedules are bound by a time frame. I say like 8:15, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. At 8:30, we're going to do our Bible reading. At 9:10, we're going to start math. Okay, that's a schedule. They make us feel like we're behind if we're not being able to keep up with those times that we have set in stones, right? So if you ever done that to yourself, I forgive you. Forgive yourself right now. I've done this to myself and it was terrible. I felt like always behind. I was trying to just like rush my kids and like, hurry up, hurry up. You know, we're going to miss the next class. Like we had to go someplace. You know, we're not in school anymore. We're not in public school anymore. So we have the freedom to study at our own pace, at our own time frames, whatever works well for our family. Just keep in mind that our kids also have their own pace of learning. So while some of them could be really fast learners, some of them can really be slow and need more time. So if you try to establish a schedule, if you're new to homeschool and you did this to yourself and you create a schedule, put times on it, then I'm pretty sure you're feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling like this is not working. This is not working. I'm failing. My kids are failing. This is not going to work for us. So brush it off. This is not true. This is a lie from the pit of hell. There's a better way to do it. And we just have to incorporate the new way to do it. Now, schedules also can make parents and children feel anxious. You're just trying to hurry the child that needs more time, and you're feeling always like, oh my goodness, this is the we're feeling, right? So again, schedule bound by time frame, can make us feel behind, like we're behind, and it can make us anxious. Routines, in the other hand, follow a sequence of things that you get done during the day, which is what we do in our house, but it's not bound by time. If we need to take the morning off to go someplace to a doctor's appointment or something, and we just start school when we come home, that's totally fine. It doesn't matter what time we get started with our school. We're still going to follow the same routine, and everything else is going to be done. Nobody's behind. We're still following what we need to get done. So it allows us more flexibility, and it allows us time to finish tasks without pressure. It is night and day. It's a huge difference, game changer. So if you were trying to use a schedule, was not working for you, you know it's time for you to start using routine instead. And obviously, your homeschool routine and rhythm, sometimes it's gonna take some trials until you find what's really going to work for your family. So how do we design the best homeschool routine for your family? Here are a few things that I've learned and I have observed, as well as I've been teaching other homeschool families, that really works. For example, first of all, follow your family's natural rhythm. If your family gets all up early, by all means, start school early. If your kids like to sleep in, or you like to sleep in, like it is in our house, no shame about it, then start school later on. What you cannot do is get kids who need sleep, especially the teenagers. You guys, they need their sleep. Their brain is changing, their whole body is changing. They need to sleep more. I feel bad for the teenagers who just get up at like 6 in the morning, go to bed like at 1 in the morning, just be up at 6 in the morning to go to school. They cannot possibly be completely productive, right? Because their brain is not going to be fully alert. So observe your family natural rhythm, and then observe what time do they normally wake up, what time did they eat. If you have little kids, what time do they normally nap? And then you try to create a routine based on what is working naturally in your home already, instead of trying to force something that is so unnatural to your family that it's always going to feel like it's defeating you. Can I hear an amen? For some of you guys who try to establish some scheduling and some things, you're feeling defeated. And probably that's the reason why you're sitting here right now. I'm like, I don't know what else to do. Right? So follow your family's natural rhythm. Consider your child's age and attention span as well. That's very important. Remember, keep the lesson short. Teach math when their brain is most alert. And by the way, some people will say, like, just do it first thing in the morning, teach math. If you try to teach me math first thing in the morning, good luck. It's not going to happen, because my brain is most alert later on, especially in the evenings. And to be honest with you, I'm in grad school right now, so I'm studying a lot all the time. I actually study much better when everybody goes to bed, and I can have some completely quiet to concentrate and study. So each one of us are different. We're different, and we need to understand and respect that uniqueness, that individuality of each one of our children. They're not cookie cutters, right? They're whole persons with different personalities, different rhythms, different pace of learning. So we need to pay attention to those things. My friend Randa Wilson, she says that in her book, The Unhurried Homeschooler. She says that we need to be students of our children, and it's so true. So become a student of your child and write down all of those things and start implementing a new routine around what's natural and what's going to be more beneficial to them. And start your homeschool day with engaging morning time subjects. So in our house, like, we just like to listen to the Bible in the morning and talk about the Bible. That's how, like, we start waking up our brains while we're like flipping pancakes or making waffles, or just eating whatever, making protein shakes or cereal, whatever it is. That's how we like to start our day. We have a Bluetooth speaker on our kitchen counter. And then, like, when I get out of my room, when we start school, first thing that we do, we have a Bible app that we use called Through the Word. And we listen to the Bible together. And that's how we that's how we start our day. Right. So you can start your own routine. Your routine doesn't have to be like mine, but it's a way to wake up our brains with a little bit of music or whatever it is. We do the news. We do in our homeschool right now. I got one preteen and two teens. So we do the current news. It's very important to us to know what's going on, and we talk about that. I want my kids to be well informed and educated in current news as much as they are in whatever subject. So homeschool should feel naturally woven into your daily life, not the other way around. Okay. Naturally get your homeschool routine to fit your life as it is now. Don't try to do the opposite, because that's when you find more resistance. So let's talk about adjusting your homeschool routine, because let me give you some news. Maybe it's not so exciting, but your routine is going to have to be adjusted often. I know you're like, oh my gosh, I just got this great routine. It's going. Well, next year they're going to change their grades, or there's a baby coming, or whatever is going to happen. Routines change, and routine changes for different reasons. So here are 3 reasons why you need to adjust your routine often. So pay attention to those things. One is to catch up with the season. So our family rhythm changed with the seasons. Like, summers are different in our house than winters. Christmas time is different than regular, time of year. So just pay attention to those things. During summers, we still do homeschool in our home because we homeschool year round, but we do a lot less things. We just cut short as much as we can, so we can be outside, so we can go to the beach, so we can go to the pool, right? It's most of us, we have short summers. Well, I'm in Florida now, so I have like almost a whole year of summer. But when we were living in Canada, we had such a short summer, and we still wanted to keep a routine of studying, but we wanted to spend as much time outside as we could. So you adjust your routine to catch up with the seasons. You adjust your routine to change what's not working. Pay attention to what's not working. You don't have to insist on something that is not being good to you and your family. John Maxwell said, you would never change your life until you change something you do daily. And if there's something that you do daily that is not working and is just being a hindrance and is not really helping, just let it go. Just let it go. Try to find something else, or just don't do it at all, depending on what it is. Some things too, you guys, I've tried to do certain things early in our homeschool that didn't work for us. And then 2 years later, we came back to it and it was awesome. Right. So sometimes it's a not yet in your homeschool, and you don't have to feel like it's a failure, but it's something that, well, your kids might not be ready for it yet, and it might not be the right season, and then just come back to it later on. So anyway, so John Maxwell said the secret of your success is found in your daily routine, and that is 100% truth for your homeschool. The daily of your home, the secret of success in your homeschool is found in the daily routine. And the third reason why you should adjust your routine often is to reflect your priorities. Your daily routine should always reflect your priorities. And I'll tell you, if you say that the knowledge of God is the most important knowledge in your house, but is not where you spend the most of your time, then it's not reflecting your priorities, is it? So make sure, like, if you say that learning to read is the priority in your homeschool this year, then you should be reading lots of books with your kids. Not necessarily just making them read, but you should be reading aloud to them. So make that priority. We had years where we had to focus a lot on math, and we are in a season like that. We were in a season like that this year, where we moved and we're like, okay, guys, priority number 1, after our Bible, it's math. We all have to finish working on your math books. So we dedicated more time into finishing our maths. All right. So morning time. Morning time is so important because it sets the tone, the tone for the whole day, your whole homeschool day. So we need to start the day with new ideas. Always to bring something. That's why I love talking about the current news. Always give us something new to talk about, or a new idea, or a new event, or a new progress in something that was happening before, right? Or the Bible story that we're listening to, there's something new to it. It's not the same thing we were talking about yesterday. Charlotte Mason said, "It is not too much to say that a morning in which a child receives no new idea is a morning wasted, however closely the little student has been kept at his books." So give them something new to think about it, or chew about it, to talk about it, to learn about it every day. I love the idea of having always a morning time basket. These are some of the morning time baskets we had in our homeschool when they were little. So just some a few ideas of the books that we used in our homeschool when they were little. We still have a morning time basket, but now my kids are so much more independent, that they have their own books in their own baskets in their own room that they read every day, right? And they are involved with Awana, American Heritage Girl, Trail Life. So they have their own things that they read and they study besides what we do together. But creating a morning basket is something very simple. So here's some ideas of things that we put inside our morning basket: picture study, Bible, devotionals, something that you're using for foreign language. Could be flashcards, could be book, it could be anything that you're using, posters, books that you're reading aloud with your family right now, books about a composer or any music that you're playing with the kids. If you have the CD, you can keep it there, just put it in your CD player. Missionary stories and biographies that you're reading, as I said, composer studies, poetry books, folk songs, hymn studies, Shakespeare stories, or memory work that you've been doing together. Those are just some of the ideas, but you can mix and match the way that you want. We do not do all of those things every morning. Don't ever think we do something like that. We don't. We pick like one, two things, and three maximum, and that's it. You don't have to do more than that. Now, this is something that my friend Julie Ross from A Gentle Feast has taught me, and she actually used this slide during our Charlotte Mason Inspire conference this year. And I was like, this is brilliant. I was like, Julie, please let me use this for my talks, because this is really, really good. And I shared a little bit about these on my first webinar on Monday, but I want you guys to understand what happened to your brain, to your kids' brain during morning time, and why it's important to have these enrichment subjects in your homeschool. So, for example, composer study. So, when you're listening to classical music, you're learning about a composer and their works. So, music increases dopamine, decreases blood pressure, and improves memory. Music works wonders in our brains. When you're doing a picture study with your kids, the more time you spend analyzing that piece of painting, of art, the more you're able to stimulate both unconscious and conscious brain functions. And doing so increase your analytical and problem solving skills. I mean, it is amazing the connections that are happening in your kids' brain when they're doing a picture study. Just let them observe and pay attention to the details in a picture, and it does all of that to their brain. Listening to poetry lights up the emotional centers of the brain and improves complex reasoning, right? Singing releases endorphins, improves memory, and strengthens temporal lobes. So many benefits to singing, to listen to poetry, to listen to music, to study, a picture. And obviously, reading aloud to your children. Don't ever stop reading aloud to your children, no matter how old they are. It doesn't matter if they can read on their own or not. Continue to read aloud to them, because not only makes such a beautiful connection between you and your children, but also connects neurons, releases oxytocin, develops sequential reasoning, and increases in increase cognitive functions. So all of these things happen to your brain during morning time. That is the best way to awaken our senses in the morning, to get our brains awakened, to get our day going, to set the atmosphere for learning in our homeschool. It makes a huge difference. Now, there are so many benefits to reading aloud. Here are just some of them. It engages the mind, increases focus and concentration, expands vocabulary, improves writing skills, decreases analytical thinking skills, increases reading fluency, promotes love for learning, makes it easier to teach multiple children together. Amen to that, because you should not be doing a curriculum for each child. If you're doing this right now, I forgive you in Jesus' name. But you need to change that, because you're going to go crazy. Your kids are taking forever doing school. You have to work with your children together as much as you can. Here we do Bible together, history together, geography together, science together. A lot of our language arts or writings is done together. And then they do their math and they do their personal, like grammar levels or whatever they do separately. But the majority of things that we do in our home school, it has always been together. As always, they always have shared the same books, even though they are like, one is in 7th grade, the other one is in 10th grade right now. We always find things they can learn together. Also awakens your children's imagination and help children retain information. Now, how do I do homeschool in my house? And I want to understand, this is how I find it worked really good for my family. And I've been passing on this formula to as many families as I can. And they can make it fit for their families. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. But I created a 3-part daily homeschool routine that has worked so well for us all of these years. It's the best way to spread this feast and to fit it all. So what do we do? Morning time, we have the morning basket time. So we read Bible, or we add some of those things. Again, we don't do all of those things there listed. We do some of those things listed there. Right? So 1, 2, 3 things. You don't have to do all 5, 6 things on a list. So we do morning, apologetics, character training, read aloud, touch a little bit on foreign language, which also could be done later on during tea time. Doesn't have to be done in the morning, but it's a good time to brush on the few words or phrases that you're learning in a different language, or a song that you're learning in different language, or a Bible verse that you're learning in different language. And then we move on, like from after morning time, we move on to what we call like table time. Table time is when our kids need to sit down on the table, dining room table, or at the desks. And that's when they work on their math, in their language arts. And then we come back together. We work science together. We work history and geography. Always, it's for us. Geography always comes with history. We try not to separate as much. So if you're learning about whatever place it is in history, we're learning about the geography of the land as well. And then we stop, we have our lunch, we do whatever we need to do. Then we come back again for what we call like the tea time. So we start at ease, engage in the mind. So we do a good chunk of time of just like studying, being focused, keeping the lesson short, but everybody is engaged. And then we kind of eat and relax a little bit and come and do tea time together. And during tea time, I like to mix and match. So for example, you do like poetry and do an art project, or you can listen to music while you're doing a handicraft, or you can do a composer study and read a little bit of Shakespeare. You can do a nature study and read aloud, whatever works. So like I said, you can do foreign language as well. So this is how it has been working really, really good. And I do have a printable to help you create your 3-part daily homeschool routine. So if you scan the QR code to get to my freebies page and to access all the printables that I showed you at the beginning, that's going to be there for you. So the best thing to do, like I said, don't do everything. Just create a loop schedule. For example, here's an idea for morning time or tea time subjects, right? Monday, you do picture study. Tuesday, you do composers. Wednesday, you do poetry. Thursday, you do folk songs. Friday, you do Shakespeare. You don't have to do everything, right? Or you can say, okay, every Friday, instead of doing the regular subjects, we are going to do a fine arts Friday. And then you're going to pick like picture study, composers, poetry, Shakespeare, whatever you want, and just do it on Fridays. That is something that you can do as well. What we do in our program, we created something called Friday's Feast. Every Friday, we loop through habit training, famous composers, famous artists, famous poets, and nature studies. So every Friday, we pick one of these and we have a phenomenal class about it. And it is the highlight of our homeschool week. All the kids in the homeschool sisterhood absolutely love it. And then we give them time to share their narrations at the end and share things that they remember that they learned, or share their art project or their poem that they wrote. And it's such a beautiful way to come together as a community and our homeschool week with a Friday feast. It's a huge blessing. So this is kind of what my homeschool day looked like, quote unquote. Our homeschool days now are way shorter than that because my kids are a lot more independent, but this just gives you an idea. We do have a structure, but you see the time that I have on the left side, on the left column, it's completely ignored by us. I have this time frame for referees, but we do not follow it. What we really follow is the sequence of things to get done. And some days we get even more done than other days. Other days we're like, you know what, we're just going to cut short today because, we're going to do something different. So morning time is the way that we start, table time smack in the middle, and then tea time is how we finish. So there we go. This is the template that I have for you guys. It's called Your Ideal Week Schedule. And you can create a schedule just like this one that I've showed you guys. And it's free for you and on my blog. So how do we create your ideal week schedule? I put the meal times first. Then I work. If I work, if you work from home, in my case, I work from home, I put the work time because those are times that are non-negotiable. And then I put also, if the kids have weekly extracurricular classes, I put those times there today also. So for example, today, for example, I teach Torah club. So I teach Torah for homeschool moms, and I am like teaching from 11 to 1. So I want to make sure that if you go to my ideal week schedule, it's going to be there, that on Wednesdays from 11 to 1, that time is blocked for me, and the kids are working individually on their math and their language arts in their bedroom, what we're doing this or whatever project they're doing for Awana, memorizing verses or whatever it is. So I put those times at non-negotiable first, and then I go and start filling the rest with the morning time subjects, table time subjects, tea time subjects, and the kids' chores as well. So remember, just to wrap it up, we're at the end of it. Here's the secret. Keep it short and simple. Simplify, simplify, simplify. I always tell moms this. You have the freedom to do what is best for your family. So make homeschool fit your natural rhythm, your family as it is now, because that's what's going to make work best for your family. Don't be afraid to experiment until you find what's best for your family. You will try different things, and some things are not going to be a good fit. Just like some curriculums are not a good fit for us. And it's okay. Ditch that, get a new one, and move on, keep going, right? Home education should feel organic, should feel holistic, should feel and not feel force fed. So we want our home education experience to be like a beautiful, delicious banquet that is spread as a feast for our children every single day. And so make sure that you're sprinkling all those good things. Like when we talk about enrichment studies, that is a way that you can sprinkle really good things into your feast that keeps everything engaged, keep everything relaxing, keep everything joyful. It's making all those beautiful, great connections in your kid's brain and in your brain too. And it feels so much better, so much more enjoyable. Remember, even though I'm dressed like Superwoman there, I'm not one. And neither are you. Okay. But we can do this. We can do this, and we can do this together. So thank you so much for having me today. I do have some free workshops for you. So if you scan the QR code here, I already talked to you about how to run your home and homeschool on autopilot and get all those beautiful printables. But I also have a 2023 Reboot and Reset free master class for you that comes with a free workbook as well. And just you can scan, go there, put your name and your email, and that's it, and have access to it. And you can watch the master class, fill out your workbook, and you can create your own routines. And I hope this is going to be a huge blessing for you. And obviously, I can't finish this without telling you how much I want you to jump on the homeschool sisterhood with us. Just hop in. You will love it. You will love. We have amazing like-minded moms, amazing families. I mean, I founded this 4 years ago. I had no idea how much God was going to use the homeschool sisterhood to change so many families, to turn around so many homeschools. It's been a blessing. We love adding beauty and truth and wonders into your homeschool days. We offer so many things, all of that for $29.99 a month. But remember, if you get the mini collection, the Charlotte Mason mini collection, today is the last day. So if you got it, you get 3 months of the homeschool sisterhood completely free, no strings attached. You don't have to put your credit card number or anything. And I hope you will love so much that you will continue to stay with us. And let's connect and stay in touch. So you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can listen to the Charlotte Mason Inspired podcast. You can go to the blog at theycallmeblast.org and at charlottemasoninspired.com. Check out all the good resources that we have there waiting for you guys. Thank you so much, Brooke, for having me.
Hey, so you did great. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you for
Good.
sharing all of your experience, especially because one thing at Homeschool Resource Co. that we love to do is bring in people who actually have experience. One of the things that we always say is that we are homeschool parents just like you guys, and we want to bring the realness of homeschooling to you. And so because Anna has been using the Charlotte Mason method and she knows so much about it, she is able to share that experience and knowledge and inspiration and encouragement with you guys. So thank you again, Anna, for joining us.
Thank you, Brooke. It's a blessing to be here. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So I want to remind you guys once again that the Charlotte Mason mini collection ends tonight. If you have not, let's see. Rachel, you were the first one to respond to me in the chat. So you get a free mini collection today. If you could send me an email, I'll add my email here really quickly.
That's so exciting, Rachel. She said, I haven't got my mini collection yet, but it sounds neat. Well, now you do.
Absolutely. So I added my email to the chat there. If you could send me an email at support@homeschoolresourceco.com, I will tell you how you can claim your free mini collection. Anyone else, if you have not gotten your collection, that ends tonight at 12 a.m. Central Time, I think it is. So be sure that you go over there. You can also get an additional 10% off by using the code, CM Mini 10, and I just added that to the chat as well. Awesome. CM Mini 10, you can get 10% off. And then we debuted a brand new bonus from Anna and from the Charlotte Mason Inspired. You can get that bonus when you purchase. And if you are listening and you already purchased, we already added that to your library for you. All you have to do is go to bonus content and it is there. So lots of great things coming up. I want to remind you guys to follow us on social media, both Homeschool Resource Co. They Call Me Blessed, Charlotte Mason Inspired, all three of us, because we are always sharing fun content, inspiration, and encouragement with you. And you'll also see what we have coming down the pipeline because we're gearing up for our yearly celebration collection that's going to be in January as well. So lots of new things, lots of fun things coming up. You can always email us, follow us, chat with us, DM on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you are, and we can help you on your homeschool journey. So thanks again, Anna, for joining us today. Oh, you're muted. You muted yourself there.
I'm trying to share this to my page right now, so it's like echoing right now.
All right, guys. So we're going to let you go. Remember, like I said, follow us and email us or chat with us to let us know your questions or how we can help you in your homeschool journey. And we will catch you next time. Bye, guys.